Visions of Innovation at the University of Aruba. I'd like to ask the big question. Is the university safeguarding the realization of its vision of good education? And is the institution continuously working on development and improvement? This is not my question. It's the guiding question for accreditation at the University of Aruba. And if we look at this question, we see there are three areas that we should be examining closely. One, good education, development, and improvement. And this question should be asked not only in the context of exclusively looking at the University of Aruba, or we should be looking at possibly the University of Aruba within the context of the nation of Aruba. And if we look at the nation of Aruba, we looked at it as a success story with good economic growth, good programs in tourism, low unemployment, but at the same time, it's a country with certain problems, such as the brain drain, such as limited agricultural production and possibilities of getting into hydroponics. We look at the waste problem and the possibilities there are in terms of recycling. The University of Aruba has a great possibility of developing itself as a think tank for the nation of Aruba, identifying problems, presenting solutions, and of course, this rethinking of universities and nation building is being done all over the world. And if we look at the World Economic Forum and how it compares different countries, it has 12 pillars or 12 dimensions, of which one of them is higher education and the role of higher education in that nation. And it has criteria such as the rates of enrollment, quality of the educational system, the quality of math and science education, the quality of its management schools, its access to the internet, how the internet is being used. So it may sound overwhelming to try and look for better linkages between our universities and our nations, but then again, it doesn't have to be done alone. There are ways to partner, and many universities are partnering. And in fact, many public universities are actually merging. So if we look at Aruba, we can see it's part of sister islands in the Dutch Caribbean that it can partner with. And if we partner with sister institutions in the Dutch Caribbean, it means getting into online learning. But it should be an online learning that is incredibly supportive, interactive, that could have a much more personal touch and make a contribution to the field of distance education. And of course, there are different ways or pathways to give credentials to our students. And this is something even that Forbes publications have looked into. And when we look at different ways of innovating, we can see how universities are one, getting into competency based education, getting into online education. And in this particular university, they also included stackable certificates that lead up into a degree. So there are ways to innovate. And let's look at how the University of Aruba sees itself. To quote its vision, it's to build an exceptional institute of higher education and research that is recognized nationally, regionally, and internationally as a leader in high quality teaching and relevant research that educates students for a sustainable, dynamic future. We aim to be a place that underscores and fosters possibilities, liberties, and personal and social responsibilities. So if we look, we're saying that the University of Aruba has to be anchored in Aruba. It has to be global. It has to be world class. It has to educate for the future and it has to foster social responsibility. It means putting the world in the hands of Aruban students, and it means that our students should be able to see their future under the skies of Aruba, not necessarily other countries. And if we look at our educational vision, it says that our graduates should excel in their professional fields and academic pursuits, should serve society with an inquisitive attitude, and are able to use their creative potential and personal and social awareness and competencies as sources of collaboration, innovation, and quality. It means that within all our courses, we should be fomenting creativity, excellence, innovation, collaboration, and social awareness. And this is part of what makes great teachers great. And if we look at ways of innovating, we can see how professors want to make their courses more interesting, and they accept that this is a team effort to create really good and interesting courses. We can see that professors are interested in making their courses more sensitive and to promote sensitivity among their students. And this particular professor brings in disabled people to be able for his students to be able to really have a feel for the needs of disabled people. This professor presents content in multiple ways so that students can feel more comfortable dealing with the content according to their learning styles. This professor wants to promote interesting and fun loving math and promotes risk taking in math so the students can analyze what their mistakes are. And this particular professor brings role playing into his history classes so that the students can enjoy math, enjoy history, and end up loving the field or the discipline of history. Which means then that we have to be rethinking our courses and rethinking how we can teach for the 21st century with more technology. It may sound overwhelming, but the University of Aruba is inviting professors to go into its A121 program to be able to share and support, and also is developing courses for the construction of our own particular courses to be able, again, to train professors to be able to deal with the reorganization of their courses. And we are asking that professors rethink the possibilities of personalizing learning using technology and to be able to, as the medical field does, diagnose our students better and present different types of experiences and assessments that go more in accordance with student interests. So we are asking that we look forward in terms of what we're doing in higher education, and we are asking that you help us plan out ways to innovate at the University of Aruba. We ask that you take the courses that we are offering in course building, and that you do participate in the AU 21 fellowship program that'll be able to give support for new types of innovations at the university. So we ask, what do you think? Can you contribute to the vision of innovation at the University of Aruba?